Blessing is my name. Favor is my name. Victory is my name. I'm for signs and wonders. Blessing is my name. Favor is my name. Victory is my name. I'm for signs and wonders. Oh, 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 I'm for signs and wonders. We say victory is my name. I'm for signs and wonders. Oh, say favor is your name, and victory is your name. I'm for signs and wonders. Blessing is my name. Favor is my name. Victory is my name. I'm for signs and wonders. Somebody say, I'm for say, lift your voice and let's say, every garment of defeat, every garment of disgrace, every garment of sorrow, take it away from me, Lord. Every garment of defeat, every garment of disgrace, every garment of sorrow, take it away from me, Lord. Oh, take it away from me, Lord. Oh, take it away from me, Lord. Signs and wonders. If you believe that you are for signs and wonders, come on, join me. Let's make this declaration. Say, I'm for signs and wonders. I'm for signs and wonders. Say, oh, say, I'm for signs and wonders. I'm for signs and wonders. Come on, oh. Say, I'm for signs and wonders. I'm for signs and wonders. Say, oh, sing, I'm for signs and wonders. Declare, I'm for signs and wonders. Say, oh. For signs and wonders. Oh, I'm for signs and wonders.
Baby, careful, Ingbo Mamiete. Hi, my name is Kafui Danku. Being a mother is such a joy, but it could be hectic if your baby's comfort is compromised. That is why in the midst of uncertainties, I always make sure I have the right diaper. Diaper that helps manage my day and night. Super absorbent. Over 10 hours of protection. Super slim to carry around and also light on the pocket. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper is the magical comfort. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper. Extra dry and comfortable. The smart choice for your royal baby. Baby, careful, Ingbo Mamiete. Hi, my name is Kafui Danku. Being a mother is such a joy, but it could be hectic if your baby's comfort is compromised. That is why, in the midst of uncertainties, I always make sure I have the right diaper. Diaper that helps manage my day and night. Super absorbent. Over 10 hours of protection. Super slim to carry around and also light on the pocket. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper is the magical comfort. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper. Extra dry and comfortable. The smart choice for your royal baby.
And I am forever your host on The Prophet's Wife. Today we talk about who an uncommon husband is. Who is an uncommon husband? Is the man you are married to an uncommon husband? Is your boyfriend an uncommon man? Is your beloved an uncommon man? If he is, what are the qualities you see in him that makes you think he is uncommon? So today, I'm driving you through town. We are going to talk about who an uncommon husband is. My team is ready. They are looking so gorgeous. I'm happy to be here today. And my seat belt, I fixed my seat belt, and I'm going to drive you through town on a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. That's on the top speed, you know, it is. So we are ready. We are going to discuss an uncommon husband. Prophet Vincent is an uncommon husband. Pravi, who is an uncommon husband?
I believe that an uncommon husband is one that excels in his role as a husband to his wife. Basically, that should be an uncommon husband, and one that your wife can be proud of. But to a larger extent, an uncommon husband too can be one that his wife becomes an envy among her colleagues. So in the first place, nobody is an uncommon husband. He's someone that the wife can't be proud of. And to a larger extent, the reflection of that association, the role he plays in the wife's role, can also be so evident that other women can look at the wife and say to the wife that you are blessed to have such a man in your life. Then I believe that you have become an uncommon husband.
Okay. So I said, if your boyfriend or your husband is an uncommon husband, what are the qualities? What makes you think the man you're dating is an uncommon man? If really he is an uncommon man, please send your questions and comments coming. We are ready to answer and discuss whatever you want to know. Pastor Nelson.
You know, I believe that we have husbands and we have the uncommon husband. When we say a husband is uncommon, he's somebody who is God-fearing. He's somebody who is sincerely God-fearing. I believe strongly that a woman or a wife can have heaven on earth when the man he's married to considers the opinion and the interest of God in whatever decision he takes. Now, a God-fearing husband who can find. It is not easy these days getting men who are God-fearing. Most of the issues that women go through, I believe they will not go through those issues when they have men who are God-fearing. Because God will not tell you to beat your wife. He wouldn't tell you to cheat on your wife. So I believe that an uncommon husband is a husband who is God-fearing. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So it's back to what my evil uncommon husbands are saying. I want to say that the Bible says in Proverbs 20 verse 6 that many men have spoken goodly about themselves, but a faithful man who can find. So that means that there are a lot of people who are parading themselves as good men and good husbands, but for somebody to really be qualified as an uncommon husband, it depends on the wife. What your wife says about you. There are lots of deceptions in the system of late where men are seen to be doing the right thing, men are seen to be praising their wives in public, but in private their wives are crying and they wish that they are with them at where they are praising them at. So an uncommon husband is the one that the wife can testify truthfully that this man is doing well. And he should be a faithful man. If we talk about a faithful man, we are not only talking about one aspect, but in all aspects of his life. A faithful man to God. How faithful is this man to God? How faithful does he hold the things of God? And how faithful is he in paying his dues? That is the tithes, your tithes. If you meet a beloved or a boyfriend who does not pay his tithes accordingly, you should be alarmed, because it's a sign that this man will not be faithful when it comes to sharing of money. So you need to be able to open your eyes wide if you are dating, and as a wife, you need to be able to help. At times, you need to help your husband for him to be an uncommon husband.
Wow, thank you very much, Mami. I think an uncommon husband is a husband who is available. Because if you are not available, it doesn't matter what you do, you should be available. If you are not available, then it means you are not a husband. So an uncommon husband is one that is available, one that is faithful, like Dr. Sefako said. Because if you are an uncommon husband, then you must learn to be faithful to your wife. Then also one that will give himself to the wife. He says, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself. So if you love your wife, then you should be able to give yourself wholeheartedly to your wife. Also, I can say an uncommon husband is one that knows how to apologize. Because if you have a husband that knows how, your wife, it doesn't matter how loving your wife is, your wife will sometimes fault you. So if you are a husband who doesn't know how to forgive your wife, then it means that as the head of the family, you're going to have serious issues in the house. Where there is fire in the house, you, the man being the head of the house, and an uncommon husband must learn how to quench the fire. And so if you are a husband who knows how to say, I am sorry, even when you are at fault, and learn how to sort out your issues later, I think it brings peace. So for me, an uncommon husband is a faithful husband, one that is available, one that knows how to apologize, and one that gives himself for the wife.
Okay, so an uncommon husband who doesn't know God, is that one an uncommon husband?
Well, two things here. I believe there are people, Dr. Sefako was saying there are people who even praise their wives or their husbands outside, or their wives outside, yet inside they behave or pretend or behave differently. Now, there are people who don't know God, but yet they love their wives. They don't know God, yet they are able to forgive their wives. They don't even go to church, but they are very faithful. Now, here is the case: you know God very well, but you are not faithful. You know God very well, but you are unforgiving. So I think that you can be somebody who doesn't know God and still be an uncommon husband.
Wow.
Oh, but well, I believe that we are talking on a Christian panel, but as Mr. Kuto said, I believe that there are people who might not have the knowledge of God, but they will still have a successful marriage. But the challenge here is that when there are challenges, issues that comes up in marriage, that what should make an unbelieving husband walk out of the marriage or do things that will not help the family. A believing husband will not do that, because Bible says in 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3, he said, but I would also have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So the advantage that you have with a believing husband is that a believing husband knows that his head is Christ. So as I'm married to my wife, I know that my head is Christ. I know that one day I'll stand before Christ and he will ask me questions about how I treated my wife. So that becomes a guide. So despite that, somebody who does not know God can be, the challenge will be that when the marriage faces storms, the person doesn't have anyone that any source of strength. The person that does not see any accountability beyond, so they can work out anywhere. But when you have a believing spouse who understands that his head is Christ, he knows that it doesn't matter what my wife does, it doesn't matter the issue that I will never stretch my hand towards my wife, because I know that Christ will ask me, is that how you are supposed to treat your wife if you are also my church? So that is just the difference, because there have been people who have not known God, but at least they're able to bring up God. But on the safe one, you need to have a believing spouse.
And I want to add that I've met some ladies who, some of them Christian ladies, who says, okay, I've dated a lot of the Christian guys, and they all broke my heart. All of a sudden, I've seen this unbeliever who loves me and does everything for me. We should also remember that they are people of different religion that do the good works. They give alms and everything, but in the end, they will not make it to heaven. No matter how you are good in giving, you must understand that as a Christian, an uncommon husband is the one that leads the wife to heaven. You should be able to lead your wife to Christ, as Prophet said. God is the one who instituted marriage in the first place. So the manual of marriage is in the Bible. There are a lot of people who try to copy or do whatever the Bible is saying. But if you're not a believer, the energy to be able to do what God is saying, you might not be able to do it. And as I said, something you come and you'll not be able to face it. So as a lady, you should not be confused to say that, okay, if there are some husbands, there are marriages that are not even, they are not believers and they are doing well, then I should give it a touch. No. As a believer, you need to get a man who can lead you to Christ. And that should be one of the sole aim of looking for an uncommon husband.
Well, there's one thing that I've always been thinking about, because a lot of us, I mean, people parade as Christians, but the difference between one Christian and the other, I believe, is the fear of God. There are a lot of people in church who don't fear God. So they do things without guilt. I mean, as somebody who goes to church, a husband who goes to church can easily cheat on his wife and find an excuse for it, because the fear of God is not in him. He's a Christian, all right, but the fear of God is not in him. So I believe that what makes the difference between an unbelieving husband and a Christian husband should be the fear of God. Because if somebody fears God, it will be very difficult for the person to beat his wife, to cheat on his wife, and to treat her anyhow. So I think that is the difference between an unbelieving husband and a Christian husband. Also, I would like to say that an uncommon husband is one who has an eye only for his wife. I mean, I've heard somebody say that he sees all other women as trees. I think that an uncommon husband is one who is able to set his wife as the prize above all other ladies, no matter how appealing or beautiful or attractive they may be. I think that an uncommon husband is one who has an eye only for his wife and delights in the wife. That's what I have to say about an uncommon husband.
I would say that an uncommon husband, a man to a woman, is a man who go the extra mile for the spouse, who makes sacrifices. Because as the Bible compares marriage to the relationship between Christ and the church, Christ died for us because of the love that he has for us. So I believe that for a man to be an uncommon person to a spouse or a woman that he or she is in a relationship with, you should be able to make the sacrifices that any other man is not willing to make. Because I believe that for your partner to stand somewhere, as you said, that an uncommon husband should be a man and the wife should be bold to talk about. For your partner to stand somewhere or to stand in public and say, as for my husband, I bet on this one, I'll be getting. Means that she has been able to have that experience, not something that she has been taught to say or she has been molded to do, but that experience that he has had with you might give him that confidence to tell a friend or to tell a club or a society or a colleague that she has met somewhere that this should be a husband, that should be an uncommon person. The sacrifices that you make for the family, and for her, sometimes when it's like we have to share, how are you going to divide it? That's what I would say.
Well, I also believe that an uncommon husband is someone who does not accept accusations. Let's say if I come to tell you, someone comes to tell Prophet Vincent that, oh, your wife does that. Like, the first thing he has to do is to say, okay, I've heard you, but then I'll talk to him, I'll find out from my wife what happened. So someone who does not embrace accusations from other people against the wife. Okay. And I also think someone who does not see their wife as a competition. Someone who sees the wife as someone who is complimenting him to fulfill his assignment, not someone who is in a competition. Maybe my wife is a doctor and I am a carpenter, so because of that, I see my wife as a threat. That is what I see as one uncommon.
Yeah, I also believe that an uncommon husband receives his wife as a gift. It's very important. Everybody who gets married, when you are going to get married at the altar, the father-in-law puts the hand of the woman into the man's hands, telling you that it's a gift I'm giving unto you. So if I understand that my own wife, Mrs. Bannerman, is a gift, 2, 3 things. 1, a gift from God to me. Number 2, a gift from her family to me. Your value for a giver of the gift will determine how you treat the gift. Yeah. So if I believe that my wife is a gift from God to me, then I'll make sure I treat her well, that the one that gave that gift to me will. That's why Bible said that when you don't even treat your spouse well as a husband, your prayers can be hindered because it's a gift. So if everybody believes that my wife is a gift, then you are ready to make sure that you enjoy the best of the gift that you have received. Understand that for the years you are marrying your wife, people have invested in her and they brought her to where she is in life. So when you understand that one, you ask yourself then, what can I add to her? Yeah. So then my mother-in-law should be able to see my wife, my father-in-law should see my wife and say that we gave our daughter to you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but thank you for taking good care and making her better, because I can understand that she is a gift that God has given unto me.
Yeah. Okay. I also believe an uncommon husband is someone who sees the wife as an assignment. If something is your assignment, you know, okay, I work with the Bank of Ghana. They've given me an assignment. Okay, if I don't do this, I'll be sacked. You know this is what you have to achieve. So you don't just misuse the thing. Whatever target you have to hit to get to that that expectation, you will get there. So if someone is your assignment, you know how to treat the person. You don't just do it anyhow.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I have come to the realization that most women's personal dreams and ambitions die immediately they get married. Now, when you meet a man who is an uncommon husband, he would identify your dream, your personal ambitions, and invest in it. Okay? Now, I believe that my wife should be able to reach her personal dreams and ambition, so I should be able to create the enabling environment, give her the right opportunities. I should be able to drive her dream and ambitions. So if you have a husband who thinks of himself alone, I want to achieve, I want to get to that level, you wait, when I get there, then we can think about you. I think you should have a second thought about such a man. So we have an uncommon husband who want to ensure that the wife also comes into the limelight. The wife is also recognized. The wife is seen at the top. I'll be proud to see my wife at the top. She is not a competitor to me, so I should give her all the support. I should drive her dream. I should become a #1 fan. So an uncommon husband will have to ensure that the wife's dreams are not dead.
Yeah. An uncommon husband too is someone who gives to the wife and the family.
Yeah.
Not a stingy man. If I give this to my wife, she will do this with it, she will do that. I'm not going to help my wife to help the family. But maybe you, the man, you are taking care of your family members, but then you feel, why should I take care of my wife and her family? So an uncommon husband is someone who can take care of the wife and the family.
Well, I also think that An uncommon husband is one that trusts the wife. Because if you don't trust your wife, you will always be having suspicions about your wife. Now, there are men who create unnecessary suspicions around their wives. When your wife goes to work and comes back and the makeup is still on, why do you still have your makeup on around this time? Who are you showing it to in the office? I mean, we've had instances where people don't trust their wives at home, and so they create unnecessary suspicions around them, and it ends up creating serious problems at home. So an uncommon husband is one that trusts the wife, and one that is also dependable. If you are an uncommon husband, your wife should be able to depend on you. Your wife should always know that, okay, yes, I have not told him this, but I know by the time I get home, this will be done. An uncommon husband knows what the wife needs. Now, here is the case: you have two cars at home. One is a very good car, one is not. But an uncommon husband will make sure that the wife uses the best of whatever they have in the house, and he will manage as a man. So that is what I also think an uncommon husband is.
That's right.
Like my father.
Who gives attention to the wife? Buys the wife gifts. It hardly happens. Most of the men, they get married and everything gets boring. So a man that is always finds time for the family, romantic, taking the wife out. Like for instance, last month my husband tried to take me out, but I wasn't that's right. And come on, man. My husband, I actually, I read media, and I did something about media studies, and my husband was talking to me the other time. I was like, let's do this, let's do that. I wasn't so keen on that because I was, I'm kind of shy to sit in front of the camera. So I was like, no, I don't think I can do this. But every day he keeps, do this, you can do it, you can do it. So my husband is an uncommon husband.
Wow.
That's right.
There are some wives who are really enjoying their husbands, and we have others who are enduring their husband. So if you are an uncommon husband, your wife enjoys you in all aspects.
In all aspects.
Yeah.
Wow. And I want to add that an uncommon husband should be a good leader, a good leader at home. I think I hear my father, Prophet Bernard Elbernard, saying some time ago that if there's any issue in the house, the problem is coming from the man. The man should be able to take responsibility for anything that's happening in the house. The Bible says that, as Prophet Vincent quoted, that the head of the man is Christ. And the Bible also says that men, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And I anytime I read that scripture, I am so alarmed, because the work that Christ did for the church, the man is supposed to do that. So I get so disturbed when everything is hit on the woman. If anything happens wrong in society, they blame the woman, but it's a leadership problem. Let's be frank. I hear people saying that marriage is autocracy, but I beg to differ, because when you lead an autocratic, if you lead an autocratic marriage, you are raising rebels under you. The day you lose guard, your house will come crashing. So a common husband is a good leader. You should be able to balance the home. Apart from the wife, your children should be able to enjoy their father. May they step down and say that, hey, ask my father, he's like this and like that. And children are the best judges when it comes to your home, because they go to school and someone say, hey, my father does that. They say, oh, I've not seen my father kiss my mother before. And they are so frank. So a good leader should be that uncommon husband. And the fruit of an uncommon husband as a leader is building up a strong and confident and especially matured woman. If you're able to date somebody for a month and your spiritual level is still on the same ground, run for your life, because that man is drowning you. So you should not be in a relationship whereby the man is coming and all that he's concerned about is your physical appearance, because the day you get bent, you run away. You should get a man, a husband who is able to build Christ in the home. may it not be said that you are a pastor's a child who doesn't love the things of God. You should be able to build to a conscious effort, even if you have to cancel some preaching appointment to build your home. You should be able to do, because at the end, that is what speaks. Because when everybody deserts you, the family will be there. But if you don't build a good home, by the time you are coming back, they are also leaving.
Wow. I also believe that an uncommon husband is one who is helpful and hardworking when it comes to helping with the housework, domestic chores and all that. I believe that an uncommon husband doesn't burden the wife, because sometimes it may be cumbersome, especially if both of you are working and you think that you don't work at home. You think that because she's the woman and she's the wife, though you are both coming home tired, she should do it because she is the woman and it's her responsibility. But I don't believe that. I think that in the home, well, she knows that that is her place, but you should have a hand in good. Otherwise, your wife gets tired. So at the end of the day, if you do that to your wife and you go to the bedroom and she denies you, then I don't think you should complain, because you have she's worn out. Yes. So I think that an uncommon husband is one who is helpful, like my husband.
You know, there's a special kind of smile that I see on the face of my wife when I get back home from work and I'm able to get into the kitchen, put something together and say, baby, come on, let's eat. And she smiles, and it's a delight to watch. It's a delight to watch, and it's nice. I think every husband should be able to get involved in household activities.
I mean, if not all the time, once in a while, just try something.
Oh yeah.
And what I was saying,
it really helps.
An uncommon man to partner, like a wife, should be a man who has a goodly character. He's gentle, he's meek, not the one who shouts on the children. When the car puts at the gates, and everybody's running away, everybody's to put things in place, because when he comes and you are even sitting on his chair, or you are even have touched something that he has put down, is held in the house. I believe it doesn't speak well. As you say, children are very good judges of character, and they'll go out there, they will say it. So I believe that you should be able to be meek, gentle when you are correcting. You shouldn't be always in the form of harsh manner, but in a way that Papa will say that he will speak the truth to you. Then after that, he will bring you near individual union. So I believe that an uncommon partner should also be meek and gentle.
Yeah. Okay, I also think that an uncommon husband must allow himself to be made by the wife. Because I believe that a lot of things that we read about, that I can read a lot of things and I can feel that these are the things that I would do that will make my wife happy. But the fact that I read a couple of things in books does not mean that is what my wife is looking at for. So I should be able to make sure that make sure that I allow my wife to make me into the husband she wants, so that she can enjoy me. So what am I trying to say? If, for instance, if I'm going out and I want to put on a green suit, and my wife, the first person that I should dress to please should be my wife. If my wife should tell me that you are my husband, when I'm walking around you or taking pictures together, this suit will not look good on the husband I want to work with. I should be able to be humble enough to say that. In the same way, for most men, they are comfortable telling their spouse, their wives, that don't wear this dress because that I don't want to go out with you with this dress. But when it comes to us, most of us don't allow us, because most of us we are like a husband should be the one to make the wife into a. But also don't know that a wife, you also have an image of who the husband he wants to enjoy should be. So a man should also be humble himself to allow the wife to teach him certain things, and even that one also goes into the bedroom before I leave here. An uncommon husband should be able to satisfy the wife in bed, for the wife to tell him that, sweetheart, you have really made me happy. Not that you yourself blow your own horn that you have done well. because a lot of things probably we've said here, but one of the things that take joy out of marriage is sexual, I don't know, all the dissatisfaction.
Wow.
So an uncommon husband must make sure that aside all the dress things he does, when it comes to the bedroom, he must make sure to ask the wife, how do you want us to do it? An uncommon husband in the bedroom must learn how to put down in his motions. You don't rush. You want to go out and finish the 5 minutes, you are gone. Make sure that your wife is really satisfied and say that, are you okay? So an uncommon husband too is one, because Bible says that let the breast of your wife satisfy you. So an uncommon wife must make sure that the uncommon husband must make sure that the breast of the wife satisfies. He enjoys sex with the wife.
So I also believe that an uncommon husband should know the difference between the family, as in the extended family, the mother, the siblings, and the wife and the children. Because if you are an uncommon husband, there are things you discuss with your wife that you don't talk to your mom or your siblings about. An uncommon husband does not tell the extended family what happens between their wife, what happens between the wife and himself, and what happens in the house. Because at the end of the day, if you tell them everything, you tell your mom, your siblings everything, and they end up insulting your wife to your face, my dear, you can't do anything about it. You have to stand there and watch them insult your wife without you being able to, defend your wife. On that note, we go for a short break. We are coming back with Prophet Bernard L. Bernard Nelson Esheng and the ladies. God bless you for staying with us. Don't go away. Bye.
Go. Yahweh. It's amazing. I have a very big God, yo. God, yo, so big God, yo, a very big God, yo. I have a very big God, yo, very big God, yo. Me when ya me go become me who. Jami de biarado Koko become unenina Okamu ara yenina Nuanyami kakraka become who Yenina Okami ara I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence cometh my help? Help cometh from the Lord, oh, Some posting horses and chariots, some me money and fame, yo. But one thing I know for sure, victory lies with God, yo. Ebenu mo fra musumia oni nansu, o kacho mo, Amusunya one nansu. You tell them. Ebinu kutu insuoni niya nasu ye bida. Ya freya we. Ebinu kutu antuani tikari nasu ye bida. Ya bakutu Jehovah. We are calling Jehovah. Everybody call him Jehovah. The ever faithful God, Jehovah. Jehovah will answer. We are calling Jehovah. Jehovah will answer. Besu ya fre Yehovah no obechi mesu ebesu afro obotentim nyame obotentim
Baby, careful. Ingbo mamiete. Hi, my name is Kafui Danku. Being a mother is such a joy, but it could be hectic if your baby's comfort is compromised. That is why in the midst of uncertainties, I always make sure I have the right diaper. Diaper that helps manage my day and night. Super absorbent. Over 10 hours of protection. Super slim to carry around and also light on the pocket. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper is the magical comfort. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper. Extra dry and comfortable. The smart choice for your royal baby.
Thank you for staying with us. We are back and we are continuing from where we ended. We are continuing with the prophet's wife, and the topic is who an uncommon husband is. We have some new faces. Our guest speaker said he can't make it, so sorry for that. And Mrs. PTI is here, so I'll let her talk on who an uncommon husband is, because I know her husband is an uncommon husband.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Okay, an uncommon husband, I believe, is a husband who knows his duty as a husband. He knows what it means to be a husband, and is able to bring all of those duties together to satisfy each member of his household, so that if he is the head of the house and he is aware of that, he will act as the head. If he knows that he has to play leadership roles and he's the role model of the house, he would also act as such. If a husband is uncommon, the whole household will gear towards or want to follow his traits. You enter some houses and it's like you hear so many junior, and they're very proud of it. Then you just realize that whoever the father is or the grandfather was very uncommon, because he left a legacy. An uncommon husband should be able to live a life that generations to come would even be proud to pursue it. In our Christendom, I believe that if you're an uncommon husband, you have to be able to lead your family. You have to lead like Christ led. Christ did not lead selfishly. In his leadership skills, you realize that he was the servant. He was the one providing all the solutions, making all the swift decisions, even when it became very difficult to know what next to do. A man should be able to fit in that role to make him uncommon. I think I'll pause here.
Thank you, Mommy. I think a lot have been said, but what I will add also is that an uncommon husband, just as it's been said, just as Christ is the head of the family, you the man, you are also supposed to be the head, or you are the head. So you should be able to display your headship roles. You should take responsibility of what goes on in the house. I think God is the creator, or he instituted marriage. So just as you find yourself in any organization, when you are employed, you are given your appointment letter with the JD, outlined in it, the job description. So you are always not being reminded what to do and what not to do. Yeah. So God, the creator of marriage, or the one who instituted the marriage, has given you that headship. So you always, if you need to remind yourself, you will go and take your JD. So in this case, you can take the Bible and then refresh yourself in what you are supposed to do. When you read 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, the Bible says, also each of you husbands must live properly with your own wife. You should understand properly what she needs. She is not as strong as you are. So you should always remember that. So an uncommon husband is one who takes headship spiritually, in the family. You take headship financially. You should be able to pay your bills. You should be able to take care of your wife and kids properly. And then if an uncommon, or if a man does that, it also shows his wife what to do and what not to do. So an uncommon wife, man or husband even attracts the wife who might be even immature to set up or even begin to act wisely. So that even when he's short of something, she can come in and then help. So an uncommon man is someone who takes headship, just as Christ is the head in everything in the house. One who recognizes his wife. And so if the wife has strength in something, you should come up and then praise her. You shouldn't be intimidated by your wife's success. So if your wife is good at something that you are not, you should say it in her face. Make her comfortable so that she will be encouraged to do that more. And then an uncommon man is one who is not domineering. Christ is the head. Just as he wants us to do his will, he has also given us choice. So you, the man, you shouldn't be domineering. Let your wife also be free. And for that one, I'll praise my husband about that. Very gentleman, and then he's very uncommon too. So allow your wife to flow, so that when he is successful in her area, you yourself, you'll be, you'll be proud of her.
I would want to chip in something little from the scripture she read. I think an uncommon husband should be able to discern and know and understand the unspoken words or language of her wife. Women can be funny sometimes. Sometimes there's something a woman really needs, or there's something she really wants to say, but she does not want to say it with her mouth. She wants you as one who is one with her. So, an uncommon husband should be united in spirit with the wife, so that when your wife needs something or wants to say something, she doesn't always have to say it. You should feel it. No, an uncommon wife knows, an uncommon husband knows his wife through and through, so that when she is quiet, you know your wife is not a quiet person. So suddenly, if she's quiet, you should know that there's something wrong. An uncommon husband is one in spirit with the wife. I also want to say that uncommon husband compliments his wife, a lot. And I want to commend Prophet Bernard L. Bernard for that. He just looking at his wife, there's a glow in his eyes, saying that I like what I'm seeing. So sometimes you may not necessarily say that you are looking good, but there's this sexy eye or there's this wink you will give your wife that will make her know that, Charlie, you're on point. So that's what I have to say.
So for Vincent, who is standing in for Prophet Bernard, you'll be answering the questions.
But before that, I would like to say something. We live in the part of the world where women are relegated to the background when it comes to decision making and the running of their family. Now, I want to believe strongly that we are moving away from that era into an era where men are making their wives their decision partners. Now, you realize that the ego of men makes it very difficult for them to consider and value the views and the opinions of their wives when it comes to the running of the home. And it has been proven over time that decisions that do not involve the ideas and the opinions of women end up very devastating. So I want to believe that if you really want to be an uncommon husband, you must not take lightly the views and the opinions of your wife. It is very, very critical. And every home that is well built is built because there is this mutual understanding, there is these decisions that both the wife and the husband have taken, and they are all committed to ensuring that whatever they want to see their family become, it is becoming that. So an uncommon husband is not a lone ranger. You don't embark on the journey alone.
recognize that you having a partner and that partner's views and perceptions or viewpoint is very, very critical. So we need to recognize that fact, that an uncommon husband is a husband that makes the wife his decision partner. It's very, very critical.
Yeah. So let me read a comment okay, from Stephanie Baba Mensah.
Question.
The questions has already started. An uncommon husband is one who washes his wife by the water of the word, meaning he teaches his wife to be Christ-like, and he models the character of Christ to her. That is from Stephanie Baba.
That's right.
Okay, so
you're about saying something.
I was about to say that if someone is an uncommon husband, one aspect that the person has to try and then look at is managing expectation and appreciation. In that, you must be able to come to a point where you embrace your wife, understanding that she might not have certain things that you want to see at that point in time, but you don't overburden your wife by unnecessarily comparing her to other women. There are some men that want their wives to behave like other women. Okay, for instance, I'm associated with my father. You're quite different from my wife. There are certain things probably you will do that makes you stand out. Certain things my wife do that makes me stand out. As a husband, I must make sure that I let my wife know I'm confident in her and how she does herself. And I don't necessarily compare her to certain people. So probably if you're not married to a wife that maybe somebody an outgoing type or some type, you don't need to force your wife to become somebody just because you want to compare her with other people. But sit down and ask. So I sit down and ask myself, who is the type of a woman I'm married to? Over the years, I've said about over the years, I have grown to appreciate my wife. Getting to sit down, meditate, and know the value she adds to my life. And so if there's some things that probably she might not do things what I wanted to do now. There are a lot of things that she does that I must appreciate. But for most men, they are always stressing on the little things that they think their wives are not doing, because they are always comparing their wives to other people. For instance, I'm a man of God. If my wife cannot preach like a man of God I preach, I should not be able to force my wife and not appreciate her for how she keeps the home, how she adds values to my life, the things she does, and just hammer on the things that I think other people are doing. So an uncommon husband must learn not to compare a wife unnecessarily with other women, because I can tell from most husbands, if you get that woman, you might leave the marriage and some few months run away.
There's another comment here from Stephanie Baba Mensah. She said, an uncommon husband commands his home after Christ. And Angel Radio said, an uncommon husband makes Christ the center of their home. Dr. Sefa Paul.
Okay, I just want to add also that an uncommon husband is the one who is able to do more than his parents have done. The parents have done. We are in a society where our fathers, some fathers are not able to do what you expect a husband to do. In a society where some people have grown up from very difficult families, they've not heard their fathers ever say "I love you" before, and they grew up with the mind that anything my father says, my mom says yes. So even though they have grown up and they are born again, they still have that kind of strong link to that. And uncommon is the one who is able to break out of that. If you're able to break out of what the bad trends that you were raised in, then it means that your future will be brighter than what you have. So an uncommon husband shouldn't just make excuses that, look, I'm not romantic because I've not seen my father ever being romantic. You can't make such an excuse, or say I can't say I love you because I've never seen I love you, or this is how they have been doing it, so I will do it like that. No, an uncommon husband is able to differentiate between what he didn't like and what he want to achieve. You knew that you didn't like that kind of state, but you're trying to impose on an innocent woman the same thing you dislike in the past. And as Osofo Nelson has said, if you don't take decision with your partner, you must understand that the woman is the one that implements your decisions in the home. The man is the head, but the woman is the neck. And there are a lot of things in the neck that when you damage, you are dying. So that makes the role of the woman very dangerous. A woman can make or break the home, depending on what you have given to the woman. And Papa will always say that women have the power to multiply whatever you give to them. So if you want your home to be joyous, give her a little joy. She would multiply it. But if you want your home to be on fire, then try it. You might not be able to come back from work. So an uncommon man must be able to break out from what people are saying. Thank you.
Okay, so I read from K. De Young. It reads, an uncommon husband should be able to prepare meal for the house.
Yes. For instance, my husband made dinner. I won't say dinner. What was it? Lunch, brunch, sort of. He cooked a meal today, but I won't say that's not his place. You see, that's not his place in the kitchen. But once in a while, to make your wife relax, or just to bring a little excitement in the home, just try something different. You've been doing the same thing over and over again. So once in a while, just try something different. But a woman shouldn't take advantage of the fact that today my husband has cooked to make him the cook. Tomorrow wash plates. Tomorrow, no, you shouldn't do that.
And
so,
I think you should be able to help. If you can't cook, you can bring a spoon. Oh, do you want a spoon for the stew? It makes the kitchen lively. A lot of things can happen even after that. So at times your presence alone in the kitchen to help, instead of crossing your leg and reading a newspaper that you might not even be reading. It's better to come in. I don't allow my husband to cook again, because when he cooks, I don't know, it's Chinese. He calls it it's some Chinese rice, and what you put down on the table, oh God. So at times you just want the person to be around. So you might not really be cooking. But those who can cook like
I can assure.
An uncommon husband is one who reads his future with a wife's future in order to attain a goal. Thus, an uncommon husband makes sure his wife's goal becomes his goal and his wife's objective becomes his objectives. They might be pursuing different agenda, but the uncommon husband would buy into what his wife does so they can achieve a good outcome. Mrs. Bannerman, that is to you.
I think it's very true. And when you do that too, it makes you, the husband, your work, it becomes easier, because when your wife is climbing, when your wife is successful or is achieving more, the outcome might be even money, or the profit might be, financial breakthrough or something. And then it also comes back to the house. So the person will be helping. It lessens your burden. So truly, you have to really share in your wife's or your woman's goal to make it.
Yeah, I was just about to assure Dr. Sefa that we are building up a generation of men who are romantic, different from what our fathers used to be. So we can assure you that today men are romantic, and we can enter the kitchen and put some few things
together. An uncommon husband is one who sees his wife as the center of his joy. He sees his wife as a queen and makes a public show of his wife. Mrs. PGI.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, I've been thinking of the story of Esther and Vashti and all. Realized that King David actually called Queen King Ahasuerus actually called Queen Vashti just to make a show of her. That should just tell you that the king is an uncommon husband, because he's so sure and confident of what he has built in his wife. But then unfortunately, I think she wasn't in the mood. But when you go on, you realize that when Queen Esther came to her after fasting to make her plea, he asked her, is there anything you'd like me to do for you? Like if you have anything, ask. That comes to what we've been discussing. For you to know your wife's worries and troubles and problems, even from her look. And you could see that he did that perfectly. So for that statement, I buy into it 100%.
Okay. Ojugo Mavis Teteki said an uncommon husband should value his wife and correct her, not in anger, but with patience and love. Prof V.
Yeah, your value system must be in place. That is after I talk about an uncommon husband must see your wife as a gift to you. When she's a gift to you, you will learn to value her. If there is always a sense of value in the house, your wife will always become better. But if you don't value, I always value that. For me, aside everything now, I think that a lot of my mates who are not married, a lot of my mates who are not married, when you have a sense of value for your wife, you always think that a lot of people would have wished to marry my wife. A lot of people proposed to my wife, and she said yes to me. So if I have that understanding, I must value her, knowing it's a gift. So value is very important. Every husband must always learn to value the woman he is married to.
Okay. Augustina Foley said, an uncommon husband celebrates his wife without pressure. It comes free.
Wow. Wow.
And Angel Reid, you said, an uncommon husband never raises his voice or his hand at his wife or his children. Nana Kwesi Bonsu, an uncommon husband helps his wife to be uncommon. Prof. K. De Young said, if the home is on fire, call fire service. Okay, Stephanie Baba Mensa, I believe that an uncommon husband compliments his wife's weakness and encourages her to be the best. He sees the gift in her and allows her to grow. Though he's the head, he understands his headship places on him the responsibility to build his wife up to become who God created her to be. For example, Prophet Bernard L. Bernard allows you to utilize your gifts.
That's right.
Okay. So I think we're about to end, so let's just say something.
I just want to talk about the fact that an uncommon husband has to be well-mannered. He should not just value his wife, move out of the house, and then go and disrespect another person's wife. The way you value your wife is the same way that someone values. No, it happens every time and everywhere. You have people who, when they see their wives, it's like they're even scared. You know, it happens a lot. But then when they're elsewhere, every other woman is like nobody to them. That doesn't make you uncommon. If you are different in your house and you're different outside, no, you've not gotten there yet. Maybe you've not even gotten to the husband material, because you have to be a role model everywhere. Yeah. If you're an uncommon husband, you don't have to bring shame to your household. You have to make your wife uncommon. And doing that, you have to display that of uncommon nature outside your home. It's very, very important. If Papa was not displaying who he was, we wouldn't have learned about all the things that we have mentioned today. So for you to be an uncommon husband, you should be able to respect other people's wives and daughters and ladies outside your home. Don't go and chase other little girls when your wife is in the house. Don't go and, you know, people can just say anything when they open their mouth. So far as it's not their wife, they don't select their words. They'll just release it like that. It's not fine at all. You have to be uncommon in every sense. You have to be well-mannered.
Okay, so Angel Ray said, an uncommon husband sees to it that their home is always on a smooth temperature. It means she makes sure their home is always sweet to be. That is the definition of home sweet home. And Mariam Enum said, an uncommon husband has to balance loving his wife his career, his social life, and loving his parents too, and being a conflict resolution officer. Janice Firebrand Johnson said, an uncommon husband loves his wife with purpose. He is not in competition with his wife in the event that she is more successful than he is, but he holds her hands, cultivates her, and ensures that the purpose of God for her life and their union is fulfilled. Linda Cote said, an uncommon husband is the one who sets his priorities right. It doesn't matter what he does and how busy he is, he still makes time for his family. Okay,
Yeah, you know, the typical Ghanaian man always demands respect from the wife. But I believe strongly that, as we always say, that respect is not demanded, but it is earned. Now, when a man becomes a mentor or a role model to the wife, and when you are able to earn the admiration of your wife, when you have been able to build and groom yourself enough for your wife to want to be like you, or to want your children to follow your footsteps, you see, respect just flows easily. You get it? So when you are telling your wife that you have to respect me, you have to respect me, what have you done that earns you that respect? So respect is earned when an uncommon husband has built himself to become a mentor and a role model to his whole family. So I think that critical point needs to be made, and we have to recognize that.
And I think an uncommon husband should also make sure he is successful at all levels. You should try to be successful. I mean, you shouldn't be so much God-fearing. When it comes to spirituality, you are there, quoting all the scriptures. But then when it comes home, or your let's say a corporate environment, because we have some men, you'll be working in the same environment or in the same company with them, and sometimes you'll be wondering, hey, then his wife is going through, but then you see the wife and himself, and the wife looks so happy. I mean, the wife is so proud. So it could be that in the house he is a different person, or in church he appears to be a different person, and he comes to work and he's not all that responsible or something. And so you try to, I mean, you are wondering what's going on. So you should try to be successful at all levels. You should make sure you are balancing in your career and everything that you are doing. Try to achieve success.
I also think an uncommon husband is one that the daughter desires to marry a man like him.
Wow.
Yes, because sometimes in the house, there are a lot of young women who are having successful marriages because their fathers were uncommon. It really helps. It really, really helps. If you want your daughters to live happily in their marriages and they will be happy, you yourself have to start with yourself by being uncommon.
Wow. Let me say this. An uncommon husband should understand his priority when it comes to investment. As much as we men, sometimes pastors, will do our best in trying to help people, an uncommon husband must understand that the security of his family is his responsibility. So you ask yourself that anything can happen. You can pass on before 50 years. Have you bought the land in your wife's name? Have you bought lands in your children's name? So an uncommon husband must always look at investing for the children, so that in case of any, you know that there is a security that you have. So there are a lot of men that when they get money, they can be good at buying things for their wives, but never open an account for them. They won't buy a land for them. They won't do certain things that can learn. So when you must be able to learn that aspect of investment and investing into our life, our children. And I think for whatever you do as a husband, you must have certain guidelines. Ask yourself, will God be happy with how I'm treating my wife? Ask yourself, if someone treats my daughter the way I treat my wife, will I be happy? If you ask yourself these two questions, it can always guide you to be able to bring the best out of your wife. And there is nothing like your wife sitting in public, praising you and telling you that I have come this far because of the support of my husband. A lot of homes are broken, suffering, and most of the time the challenge is absent husbands, not absent wives. So if husbands can be present, can be active, help do the homework of the child. If you have to do your homework, I don't do a Bible. I do your thing. And the homework as the Bible bring you have to go and Google. Yeah, Google homework. It's not easy homework. I do the homework of the child. So help. Let's get involved. Most husbands are not involved in the life of their children. And by the time the child gets to 15, 16, 18, the father realizes that the distance is there. I usually used to tell my wife something before we go marry that. I always said that I want my children to be close to me. If Hepzibah want to, the mama wife want to bath Hepzibah, and I tell Hepzibah I'll bath her. My wife will say, Hepzibah will say that mom, daddy says he will bath me. If I want to bath Hepzibah every day, you say I should bath her. But what I'm saying is that there's kind of bond. Most of us had, in a way, absent fathers. Most of us don't have bonds with our fathers. We can't talk to them. We can't share things to them. But I believe that we should instill confidence and be present. There are a lot of absent husbands. Please, husbands, let's be present, not absent.
We can go. I want to add that a common husband should be the one who listens to the Holy Spirit. We can't go without stressing on them. She wants to spend time with God, so that when I'm talking to God, He can hear what I'm saying. It's like making a phone call. So an uncommon husband should love the things of God and continuously grow.
Thank you. So my team and I would like to send our condolences to Captain Mahama Adam. And his family, his wife, the mother, everybody. We want to send may his gentle soul rest with peace. We are about to end, and I would like to say a big thank you to you for watching us. We really appreciate you for staying with us. A big shout out to anyone who celebrated their birthday throughout the week. Happy birthday to each and every one of
Vanera.
us, especially Vanera.
Yay!
And a big shout out to all the Saturday moms. Today is Saturday. God bless you. See you same time, Saturday evening. Oh, and our beautiful makeup by CJZ Makeover and Anel Carlo. Yes, MS Pro Artistry. And our beautiful top ball, Gatanga from Madhu's team, Damsel Life. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye.
Bye. Baby, careful, Ingbo Mamiete. Hi, my name is Kafui Danku. Being a mother is such a joy, but it could be hectic if your baby's comfort is compromised. That is why in the midst of uncertainties, I always make sure I have the right diaper. Diaper that helps manage my day and night. Super absorbent. Over 10 hours of protection. Super slim to carry around and also light on the pocket. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper is the magical comfort. Royal Monopoly Baby Diaper. Extra dry and comfortable. The smart choice for your royal baby.